I just want to thank you all for being here today, and I want to thank also the truckers and everyone associated with that convoy, because the trucker convoy gave a new impetus and a new figurehead of freedom and leadership in this country. So I want to thank everybody who was involved in that, everybody who parked their truck on the tarmac, everyone who went up to visit whenever they could on the weekend. That is so exciting to see what's happening and how that moved to other countries, and we're seeing that in the United States and so many other countries around the world. Everybody, let's give a round of applause for the truckers, please. The fact that you're here today gives me hope, and the fact that your love for freedom has not been exhausted gives me reason to believe that we can have a better future. And let's be honest, though, it has been exhausting these last couple of years. And for many of us, it's felt like the longest 2 years of our lives. The lockdowns, the mandates, the demonization of innocent Canadians by their own governments, it's taken a massive toll. There was a study that was put out a couple of months ago by the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health here in Toronto. And it showed that the level of depression, anxiety, and loneliness are at the highest levels they've ever been in Canada, and in particular in the province of Ontario. It's not an exaggeration to say that the people of this country and this province have been significantly wounded. And the tragic irony is this: the most significant harm inflicted on us didn't come from a virus, but from our own governments. Some of us have suffered more than others, and if you did dare to stand up to the evil that has been perpetrated against us, you were a target, and they tried to drive their knife right into you. Some people were fined by police. Others were fired from their jobs. We've seen businesses bankrupted. We've seen people's educations destroyed. We have seen this massive wound that our government has caused bleeding and festering amongst the population. Many of you in this crowd today have your own story about the wound our government has inflicted. For my part, I have 7 court summonses issued against me. And in the future, perhaps I'll experience more issues. And you might be wondering, well, what were my crimes? What did I do? Well, one of them was going to church. Others were being outside with groups of people like yourselves. And, you know, there was other people who were trying to bully all of us. There was the media. The media targeted all the freedom lovers early on. There was early on when I was speaking out, when I used to be a member of the Conservative Party, and the media was silencing me, and my own party was trying to silence me as well. All of you here can remember the history that we've had. And during that time, there were certain things that were being done. I sponsored a petition about vaccine safety and efficacy. And this petition got thousands, tens of thousands of signatures across the country. But the media wanted to shut it down. We also brought in other medical heroes for truth, like Dr. Byram Bridle from the University of Guelph and Dr. Don Welsh from Western University and Dr. Patrick Phillips. And we held a press conference where these top experts explained their concerns. That video was banned from social media. We were all attacked for wanting answers, but now we know we were right to be concerned. For example, a couple of months ago, the British Medical Journal, one of the top medical journals in the world, published a bombshell report proving that Pfizer safety data has been lied about by Pfizer. Now, I won't be surprised if you haven't heard of that report. Not a single media outlet in Canada covered that report. But the fact is that more and more eyes are opening around the world to what we're seeing. Sometimes, the more things change, the more things stay the same. And even though I have my own story, there are many other people who have had problems during these last couple of years. I'm not unique. None of us here are unique. And many of us here were punished for exercising the various freedoms that were protected under the Charter. And the Ontario government, instead of upholding the Charter, trampled the charter, circumvented the charter. They made the charter of no effect. And Doug Ford has been the chief among them. It is true that Justin Trudeau has been cheerleading and laughing along the whole way, but many of the things we've experienced in this province have been at the hands of the Premier, whether it's lockdowns, whether it's vaccine passports, whether it's people getting kicked out of universities. Those were all provincial decisions. He did not have to do that. Yes, it's true, Justin Trudeau wanted him to do that, but he didn't have to. That's on him. Our homegrown tyrant in this province is offering now to treat this massive wound that he created with a Band-Aid. He's offering a Band-Aid. Hey, I'll give you back the freedoms that were never his to take in the first place. And he wants us to forget what's happened. He wants us to say thank you for refunding my $120 for my license plate. I'll forget. That's right. I'll forget about all that you've done over the last couple of years. But I'll tell you this, a Band-Aid is not going to heal this wound. You can't cover parents losing their job with the Band-Aid. You can't cover students being expelled from university with the Band-Aid. A Band-Aid is not a payment for all the fines that were illegally laid against law-abiding citizens. When the wound brought by the Ford government has been this massive, we need a cure commensurate with the disease. And when I agreed to be the leader of the Ontario Party, it was on the condition that it would be a vehicle for bold changes and for greater freedom and justice. And it is. Our growth has been tremendous, and each day more and more citizens of Ontario are becoming supporters. Even Jordan Peterson's podcast mentioned us last week. And next week, we'll be announcing our candidates, so keep an eye out for that. And if you've been to our website, you can see our published policies. Unlike other parties, we have our policies on our website that you can read and see in detail. You will see that we are the strongest party to guarantee freedom of conscience and expression. And we're the only party who's promised and committed to giving parents funding to choose the kind of education that they want for their kids. And when it comes to the COVID wound that has been inflicted on all of us, that the Ford government has done their major part in inflicting, we will bring the potent cure of justice. The firings, the fines, the expulsions, all will be reversed and reparations will be made. They will be made. We're going to look into all of that stuff. We're going to look into everything. We will look into everything. Everything. We will be getting rid of all of these things. Okay? The wound inflicted by this government has been massive, and that's where all of you come in. The Ontario Party is not my party. It is your party. It is the party of anybody who wants freedom and justice in this province. Our doors are open to anybody who wants to fight for freedom in this province. And together, we will restore this province to the way it was meant to be, hand in hand, side by side, together. We will all do this together. We will bring the cure for this massive wound. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless Ontario.